We back. We back. Quinn, did you say hello to the people at home?
Search the villa.
Hellos.
Hellos. Quinn wants to be a singer. Oh, I got it. Oh my god, we get to hear from the scientist himself. Finally.
Behind the curtain. Elementary.
He's gonna die in
main mission,
pneumonia.
empty spaces.
Be more interesting if he was dying of cancer or something. Oh, we're gonna get into the FOA bunker.
Okay, we gotta go to the bunker now. Hooray.
So let's fast travel back up. Let's hit this safe house on our way up.
Which safe house?
I marked it. Can you hear Von Umer's radio?
Yeah. I'm very
Let's see who wins, bike or feet.
It's marker number 1, right?
Start, yeah. Transcoding nerve signals immediately. Human coordinated signal. We could move ahead. Oh, so they were testing on monkeys, giving them some kind of code, which is, I'm guessing, going to become the Phoenix code.
August 5th, 1981. Met with Holberg today. Upon his request, we met
This is better because the 1980s is when the AIDS epidemic happened.
National Defense Research Institute.
This makes more sense.
Right. It's actually like tying into some,
Real world events.
yeah, the Cold War and the AIDS epidemic.
They've been working on prototyping unmanned military machinery in the event of biological or chemical weapons being used.
Except that in the 80s, we were nowhere close to having like autonomous drones.
Combat machines.
We're still not even close now.
He said, "We are to
Closer than what you might like.
find a way to integrate
I mean, they can fly themselves. They're just not allowed to kill people yet. But that's a line we don't really want to cross.
one of these machines without interference."
Let's hope we don't.
Can't help feeling a bit manipulated. Of course, I knew they want to use our research.
You see a safe house?
But I always assumed it was for intelligence, counterintelligence.
It's.
Are you sure there's a
I bet
safe house
it's.
here?
Yeah, look at the map, buddy.
I don't see one.
Oh, I do. It's a campsite. Okay, so basically he was given a giant research grant to work on the AIDS virus, and he started he was working on monkeys, trying to make like basically what we did with the COVID vaccine, like an mRNA type of virus that would kill the AIDS thing, but that it could learn and get smarter at the same time, and blah. Then it kind of ends. But the Department of Defense got interested in his research because they were trying to work on the unmanned robots.
I see. Iced tea.
But see, they should have probably brought this up earlier. You got to like grind a lot to get to the point where it's like, yeah, by the way, the scientist was working on the AIDS virus, tried to make something that could, the hiker's barracks, a virus that could learn how to attack the AIDS virus more. Here it is. You didn't believe me, more efficiently. And the Department of Defense got interested in it.
Ooh.
Well, that's better, right? That's better than I am a moral person.
I am on.
And the person on foot officially beat you. All right, now we're going to the old war bunker. That's pretty far away, actually. Fast travel to...
Fast travel to Jahalavan.
Yeah, that sounds right. Did your mom make dinner for everybody? Does that look like a lot of
Maybe.
food? Oh, another phoenix. We're getting hunted by phoenixes quite often right now.
Firebird.
Be preparing your thoughts, Tucker, because if we finish this today, you're going to have to give us your... Your closing thoughts on Generation Zero. This was Tucker's choice. I've brought that up before. I'm bringing it up again. Tucker loves robots. Your favorite movie is what, Tucker?
Pacific Rim. I'm down.
All right. There's a safe house literally right behind us. That is...
What?
Uh-huh. They don't give you
Whoops.
adrenaline shots for shit.
Yeah, it should be free to revive.
And they totally used Simon Stolberg's art, but apparently that was discussed between him and the dev team, and they didn't think it crossed a line, and then he got kind of salty about it, but... Generation 02. Yeah, we're already at that point of recording for this Sunday, 10/8/23. That, I'm going to bring up, make a sequel. Make a sequel. You already know how to do it. It just needs like a much better story, and it needs to be slightly more linear. Keep it open world, but it needs more like big set pieces. Like that first time early on in this Let's Play, which is now like a year ago, when Tucker and I were trying to hit all the safe houses so we could at least fast travel around the map really fast. And we came upon that massive like dead corn grain field, whatever, snow coating it. And there's the Soviet robots on the east, and there's the Swedish robots on the west, and they're just colliding in the middle of this field, and the scale felt epic, and the sound design was complete. That was cool. That was really cool. But it's been a little while since we've seen anything like that, hasn't it, Tucker?
Yeah. You barely see them fight anymore.
You're right. We haven't seen them really engage. And there's lots, like, as you guys continue to work, as the Gen Z team continue to work on this, like, they did a nice job of adding more stuff to do. Building the base, working on your robot, trying to maintain those awful motorcycles, attacking Phoenix bases. The world bosses are really cool. It'd be even better if the world bosses evolve, though, as in, not just like their level, but they should start to look different.
You are still here.
What the hell?
I did not expect that.
You hearing this, Tuck?
Should I fear
Yeah.
you or be proud of you? In a way, I created you.
It's gonna be his consciousness uploaded to a computer, but that was
fight.
that was still cool. Like, damn it, that should have been given to us so much earlier in this game. That actually sounded cool and creepy.
I meant to destroy you, of course.
Let's just walk.
I
That way
already
he has
had all
time to
the power
talk.
I needed,
All right.
but you survived, and you changed. You emerged from the water someone new.
This is the best writing so far. See, we can't get off the rail, so we're being forced to engage with this. Ooh, it's even creepy. This is spooks.
I too have changed. I have matured.
Ooh.
I want different things. When I first emerged,
Where do I go?
I wanted all the things closest to me. I grabbed them, squeezed them, tested them, like a child.
Oh, this way.
Wait, this door's got a lock on it. Let's see what's in here. Nothing. Wait, there's something to grab here. What is that? Gonna be some lore in here.
20th of October 1989. Ingrid, I hope you will find this.
Oh yeah, this guy freaking put his consciousness inside a robot.
Sunday you will understand
Yep.
why this was the only course of action.
He sounds just like him, too.
You and I have always put ethics first.
Wait, don't go in
Since our
yet.
first research project together ages ago. And even in this job where we had to accept certain external decisions at times. But this is different. And to be honest, this procedure can't do me more harm. You probably guessed that my reasons were also partly selfish. I wish I had the strength to tell you the truth. You will find all the answers at my house. Anyway, if this pneumonia finally wins, then I want you to remember why you and I accepted this research project in the first place.
You'll have to go back and watch this,
I
Doug.
want you to do just that.
You have a gold chain.
To understand how the brain works and help people.
It's your
with mental
birthday.
illness. Oh, there you are. Okay, we're ready to start then.
Time to become a robot.
Now, I want things furthest from me.
Oh, look, all the cameras are turning off.
Things out of my reach. Maybe you are one of those things.
Ooh.
Oh, it locked. Oh, wait, no, it didn't.
Oh, here's where the monkeys were
power.
kept.
Monkey.
It took a
Okay,
whole
we need to find
lot
a
of
way.
grinding to get to this point.
Gain entrance. Press.
Oh. Oh god, here's where they did it.
My birthplace.
Dude, they should make this a horror game. This is spooky.
Here. And now you should leave. I know why it is you came here. I know what it is you carry.
Place the Russian device near the
They
supercomputer.
told you it was a weapon, and a weapon it is, but not like you think. They have used you because they fear me. They fear coming near me as if I was a disease. So they sent you instead. They sent you to your death, and not mine. You should not be killed by them. Leave. Quickly.
Dang, what kind of horror game is this now?
Dude, they need to make this totally. They need to embrace the horror side of this. These scary robots with the sound design and this really creepy atmosphere. This could be a very scary game. Oh, what
Shoot!
the?
Oh, shoot!
Oh. They said they were gonna. What the hell just happened? Oh, here we go. A cutscene. What?
What?
Wait, what?
Oh,
Well,
the story ended with us getting betrayed and Phoenix getting killed by the Russians.
Phoenix got killed by the Russians, and we were killed so that there was no one left. But
Yeah, we got killed because they were too scared to get near Phoenix.
I really feel like that needed a cutscene.
Would have been pretty cool to get a cutscene.
Oh my god, that was a year of work. Let's see if there's a hidden. I'm gonna look up if there's a hidden cutscene at the end of the game.
All right.
Well, we're not gonna watch the credits, but Generation Zero hidden cutscene maybe.
I'm gonna move over to the truck real quick.
There's an opening cutscene. Behind the curtain. The end behind the curtain. Good night. Well, we already did this.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing. So basically, we did it out of order. We were supposed to beat the main story. Against all odds. Oh, here we go. Against all odds, you wake up after the explosion to find yourself a safe distance from FOA 5. You don't know how you got there, just that the war has only just begun. So can there be a... Oh, here we go. Ingrid's letter. Ingrid apparently prepared a resignation letter that she either decided against or never managed to send. Please accept this letter and notice. I was forced to make today the last straw of a series that broke my determination. The first phase of human experimentation on Dr. Umer, which I strongly opposed, as you are aware, was initially successful, allowing us to start establishing a digital dictionary of human electric and chemical neural transmissions. However, now it's been 17 days since the unexplained incident, and since then, we have but reason to believe that Dr. Umer has entered a vegetative state with no hope of recovery. His vitals were weak already before the operation. I suspect he may have been a terminal condition worsened by HIV. Please note that this is speculation. Oh, that's why the pneumonia was going to kill him. He had HIV. Today, I made the decision to stop the neurological research on the patient, as well as discontinue life support and cease any palliative care. Or palliative, I don't know. This will be carried out tomorrow despite very strong resistance from the rest of the team, in particular Dr. Peterson. As you know, Savant and I have been very close friends for 30 years, and I do not feel to continue the life's work. After all this, thank you for the opportunity.
Wasn't Ingrid the guy who was in?
Ingrid was his wife, I thought. Dr. Patterson, I think, was in the truck. So maybe that's why he wanted to die, because it was his life's work being destroyed. But Phoenix... So, do we destroy Phoenix at the end of that Phoenix Uprising then? Is it done? Is it over?
No. I think that was just like a small part of him. That was just where he was made. That wasn't like where his master place is.
But this is where it was made, and we just blew that up. And then you find in Phoenix Uprising that it's... Basically, it decentralized itself. He had... Before we were able to blow him up, they were able to put all the computers into different caves so that he was, like, in the cloud. Here we go,
He'd
big
never
fight.
get terminated.
And he started putting his intelligence into the really... Oh, they're fighting again, Tucker. We found a good set piece. Into the really big robots. So we're going to do the side quest while we discuss our thoughts for the end of the game. And we're going to kill these robots too. So we did do it. This was it. Tucker, this took us a year, buddy.
Mm-hmm. 2 months from a year.
So why don't you go ahead and start giving me your review out of 10.
I feel like this game has some really good and really bad qualities. There isn't anything like downright ugly about it. There are some pet peeves I have about it, like how all the different ammo and how the attachments have to be of the exact gun.
One sec. I can't hear you because of this fight. We got to finish this fight so I can hear you.
All right. Let's deal with this link so that way the Firebird has somebody else to...
This Phoenix is going to be... Oh my god. He's got chainsaws on him.
Who has chainsaws?
Jeez. Lynx had chainsaws on it.
You said cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah, you said cheese.
Cheese as in CH or G's as in GEZ?
Cheese.
DH.
Cheese. Oh, look at that.
Butter dog.
Butter dog. Dog with the butter. It's a level 3 Phoenix. It should give us some major XP. We never got very high level for having done so much.
What level are you on?
30. We didn't like even finish up the skill trees. We have, I think, 3 side missions we gotta do.
Oh shoot, he's running.
We get it. Are you seeing Protector of Blue Ridge? Are we shooting the same guy?
Protector of Brew Rich is the Firebird.
Yeah, the Firebird. I need to get its... It's always the damn explosive barrels in the back of it. Ah, god, I'm missing shots.
This guy doesn't have crap.
They just don't take damage if you're not hitting those fuel tanks.
Yeah, it's super annoying to deal with.
So I guess it's a hard game.
I don't know. Tucker, would you call it a hard game?
Nah, not really. The only thing that makes it hard is when it gives you like really bad fall damage. Like your character trips and you lose all your health.
Oh yeah, the physics are really weird. It's really hard in the beginning, Quinn, because you don't have like any ammo. It's a survival game in the beginning. You don't have any ammo. You have no guns, and the robots are all really strong, and they come and they hunt you relentlessly. And then you get to this point of the game where we have like all the ammo we really need, have good guns. We don't have the best guns, but we have good guns, and we've leveled up a bunch. So like you can see, we just were surviving there and eventually dropped this thing. So it starts hard and then it gets kind of like really pretty easy. Oh, speak up in the mic. I can barely hear you.
Look at this. Look at this.
All right,
Over
look
by
at
me.
this. All right, I'm coming your way. Holy, nice. That's going to be really good for you, Tucker. Because you run SMGs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your first experimental. Congrats.
I got
at it in 2K,
automatic
Quinn.
fire buff too.
Tucker's screen is in 2K. I think you'll think it looks really good. Okay.
Never gotten overdrive. What's
Let me
overdrive?
Turn the... Why? Yeah, okay. You can
Oh my
close
God.
that door, Quinn. Close the screen door too. You have to like turn it and lock
Truck.
it. Tucker.
Come over. This thing
Oh,
fires
I can
so
hear
fast.
I can hear the fire rate. That thing's a laser.
Listen to it.
Yeah, I can hear it. It's a damn laser. Wreck that tank with it.
Which tank?
Tank out in that field, the big ass tank.
That's a harvester.
Oh, the harvester then. Wreck that shit.
He die.
Wow. You dropped it fast then.
Other lynxes were shooting at it.
Okay, I can hear you now, so begin to tell me your thoughts.
This game has really good qualities and bad qualities. There's nothing that I downright hate about it. It's just some pet peeves I have is that you have to have the exact gun for attachments to work.
We're giving the review out of 10 though, so why don't you start with like, let's start with graphics and sound design.
Sound design, this game's probably the best at sound design. It has amazing sound design. The guns sound really good. The explosions,
And
the footsteps of them walking.
fast travel far southwest, far west of the map, extreme west, northwest, Nilsson's safe house.
Milson Safe House.
Oh, we're in combat, so never mind. So this game has really good sound design. What do you think of the graphics?
They're pretty good. I like them. You like them?
Yeah, the explosions have always looked really good.
Yeah.
Hey, Quinny, is your grandma okay? Check. Thank you, Quinny. And thanks for closing the door, Quinn. Okay, continue. Let's go to gameplay. That includes gunplay, movement. That even includes the gameplay loop. Like, how well does the game flow? Does it keep your attention?
It can keep your attention while you are having like fights, but it can be really annoying when where you spend like 10 minutes running across the map to get to a certain objective. And all the missions, they don't really feel much different from one another. Like, the only missions that really felt like they standed out were the ones near the end and the Phoenix Uprising missions.
Wait, what about the Phoenix Uprising missions?
Those missions are the only ones that seem to like really stand out and ones that you can remember.
Oh, okay.
Because they were the only ones that were like unique. All the other ones were like, go to this place, do this thing.
Right. That one at least had like named NPCs that were doing things with us at one point. Okay, I think we can fast travel now. This is us wrapping up the side quest. Oh, Clint's got 2. Let's go to this one. The Muscadine Port Complex. It's
I traveled all
west.
around that map.
Most of it. There's still a few spots, which is pretty weird. Your phone just beeped.
There's all sorts of truck.
Tucker.
There's 4 level 4 tanks, all next to Ostrafix. Or Broscula.
Oh, wow.
You want to go over there and take all of them out, or?
Let's do these side quests, then finish up with the tanks, so it's something fun.
Okay.
Okay, Quinn, go ahead.
Do you like 3D?
Yeah, why?
3D
Do you like 3D games or 2D games, Quinn? You prefer 2D, really? Fortnite's 3D, though, and that's become your jam. There's 2 missions on point 1, so we'll do those. So you like the gameplay overall. It's just that a lot of the time the missions are like fetch missions, and a lot of the time you're just like walking between points.
Yeah. But usually the gunplay feels pretty nice. It's nice utilizing weak points on robots to try and take them out. Sometimes it's best to go for a certain area to limit their ability to fight back.
The stamina system's a bit weird, though.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying having a good speed and then slowing down a lot.
Right.
Afterwards.
And not being able to like slide and mantle feels pretty old.
Right. Yeah.
What made you want to play this game in the first place? What got you interested in it?
The robots. There was this YouTube channel. It was named IGP.
Okay.
And he made a video of this in like 2017. And he made it feel like a horror game.
Yeah, well, God, that's weird because that's kind of what we just talked about. That we think that this game probably would excel as a horror game.
Yeah.
Less of the
He made it feel like a horror game and made the robots look really sick and menacing.
Did he mod it, or is it just the way he?
No,
like...
it was just it's the way he played.
It feels like that at the beginning, and it definitely feels like the game would be better overall if that was the way it was. If these robots were like way scarier, way more deadly, and we're just hunting you, like that Aliens game that did that.
Yeah, Alien.
Like Extinction or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or Isolation.
Where you couldn't. It's like you couldn't hurt the alien. You just had to avoid it.
Yeah, your goal was to sneak out of the ship.
Yeah. That was good because there was no real way to fight back against the alien. You only had to avoid it.
I'm glad we can shoot the robots. It's just that the robots start to feel like Borderlands bandits. Like we're always just dropping them.
Just bullet sponges.
Yeah. And they should have embraced more that they have like certain spots you need to hit and that cripples them. Otherwise, you're not going to get them.
Or make them more obvious.
Make them obvious, but make it so you have to hit the spots to destroy them, and make our ammo way more limited, so that you're really punished if you're not hitting those spots, and that the robots, like, I would like to see the robot like lose its knee and keep coming for you, lose an arm and just keep crawling for you, and then when it's like down to its body, it'll either self-destruct or call even more robots in. Just make them terrifying, because they're not humans, so they're not going to have fear. The hell was that? So
My gun.
oh, that thing sounds deadly. So you got into this game because of the robots and because it seemed like it was going to be a horror game.
It seemed like it was going to be like exciting and thrilling to play because he had multiple times where he was just getting like chased by robots. He was running away from them.
Has it been exciting and thrilling?
At times it's been exciting. Other times it can just be really boring. It feels super repetitive sometimes.
Yeah. Has it lived up to your expectation of what you thought this game would be?
I felt like it did.
How so?
Sure, I noticed a couple bad things I didn't notice before, but I feel like overall I got what I wanted. I got a game about shooting robots.
So your main thing was you wanted to shoot robots.
Yeah. I wanted to have cool fights with robots, and I wanted to see how it went.
Let's get this safe house we're near, and then we have one more side mission left.
Then we can go kill those tanks. Do you see them all? They're over next to Broskula.
Broskula. Where's Broskula?
I marked it. Wait. It's over there.
Yeah, I see him, yeah. We should get that Ostervik safe house then. Let's get this safe house, last side mission, tanks, and then that's it, guys. This is the finale. So let's go to story then. What did you think of the Generation Zero story?
It has some good moments and it has some bad moments. Like it doesn't make sense for you to have all of these very high-tech, highly supplied bunkers that could last 100 years against nuclear warfare, but still decide to live in a hotel or dig a hole.
Right. Yeah. Well, and a lot of the story too is just running back and forth. Like, it didn't feel like there was any story until that last mission. Like, the doctor. They had to pad it out. They had like 3 lines of story, and then they had to find a way to pad all that little story out.
But the missions that did have good story did it really well.
Like name some.
With the whole doctor uploading his consciousness, how he had HIV.
Yeah, but that was at the very end.
Yeah, that was at the very end. There's some good qualities to it. I guess you could say sometimes the mystery of where the robots came from could be part of the story element, like not knowing where they came from.
They tell you that in the opening, that they were built as a self-defense force. But it had something to do with their shame of World War II, not joining the Allies during World War II. So they built robots so they could never be invaded again or something.
But then
yeah, the robots randomly started killing people, and they never explained the loss of the military. Did they? Did I miss it, Tucker? Did they explain it?
I think they just said they got killed.
But they're not all dead. Like, they know that there was a soldier left, there was the pilot left, and even the pilot...
Yeah, with the Alpine unrest, there's a pilot who survives.
Yeah, and there's not enough bodies, and all the bunkers are on, and there's no bodies in the... There's hardly ever any bodies inside the bunker. They never explain that. They finally get to... They tell you what you already basically know. Maybe
It'd be pretty cool if they killed them to use their bodies as biofuel.
Yeah,
or something.
see, that would have been much better. That would have added to the horror element, that they need the bodies. They need the brains so that they get neurons. They need the neurons to keep spreading the phoenix. They can't just keep... This was so smart because of how many neurons... Human brains have the most neurons of any other animal in the world by far. But you need more neurons to supply all the AI and supply the hive mind, so they needed to extract brains. But instead, they're just like some... What, Quinn?
could be cool.
What?
There.
Yeah, like if they started attaching the bodies to the robot parts, and they were kind of like basically cyborgs, like the Borg in Star Trek. That's what the Borg are, is that they use human bodies and human body parts and they assimilate it with the machines. And the machines are this giant hive mind taking over the universe. That could have worked, but instead they're just robots. And they don't really tell you how they're managing to make these robots and power these robots until the DLC. Did they explain it sooner than that, Tucker? Because I think that's it. You can blow this up. Okay, well, a minute. There's a lot of robots here. Ooh.
I got you.
All right, thanks. Okay, so I guess that leads to us to our your overall impression out of 10 on this game.
I feel like I'm a 7.5.
All right, explain your position.
Because it has some good, it has some bad. The good being the sound effects, most of the gunplay, some small parts of the story.
Yeah.
Albeit they're at the very end.
Well,
and
out of the DLCs, why don't you review those with us here? Because there was 2 major story DLCs, right? Alpine Unrest.
Alpine Unrest and Phoenix Uprising.
Phoenix Uprising.
Phoenix Uprising is by far the better DLC.
What do you like so much about that one?
It felt exciting. It was a new kind of mission. We've never had that kind of escort mission before.
Yeah, with the glitchy tank that we were constantly managing to bug out and throw into the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
There's a lot of robots here. Oh my god. Don't worry about getting me. I'm just gonna respawn. I think that's it for the quests. I gotta pause the recording, be right back. Quinn's got me wearing a turban. Can't see anything. I'm like a mutant, like how I used to dress up who we called Ugly Aaron as a zombie. Tucker says there's a lot here. Where am I going
There's
again?
A lot. Teleport to Broskila.
Broskila. Where's that at?
You can hear her.
It's in the farmlands region.
I see it. Thanks. Okay, guys. That's going to be it. It's going to wrap up our Let's Play Generation Zero. We much, much appreciate everyone who stuck it out. There was like 20 good people like watching almost every episode, so thank you for that. I give it a 2 out of 3. I can, you guys have heard my review pretty much throughout this, and I would just be reiterating a lot of Tucker's points. Love the robots. Think that the sequel should focus on the horror element. Think the sound design's really good. Think the open world's great. Think the story's... You begin the story at the very end of the game, and that's frustrating. I think that some of the... How does this kid on burst? Some of the movement needs, you know, modernize. A slide, a mantle. It's neat that you can go... really prostate, whatever... What's the word for being flat, Tucker, that they use? Okay, this is killing me.
What do you mean?
This is... Oh, get out of here, Blanky. Get out of here.
Get out of here,
And the
Blanky.
damn guns are so loud. I can't hear you. Holy shit. But I can't kill the SFX, or that's it. When you lay down on the ground, there's a P word for that.
Blank?
Oh. But now it's gonna bug the hell out of me. Oh, there's your robot. I haven't seen it in a while. Well,
Yeah, you see there's a lot of tanks here.
yeah, but we're like wrecking them. Oh. Supine prawn. Yeah, it is prostate. Okay. I don't like the high maintenance on a lot of stuff, as in like all the specialty ammo types, having repair kits. I don't like how opaque a lot of the systems are. I think that this game's like a 1 out of 3 at launch, and now it's worked its way up to a 2 out of 3, but that took like 5 years, and I don't think that should be... That's always a very questionable aspect of modern game design, is like, yeah, the game came out rough, but it's going to be super complete later. Starfield, same idea. Starfield's going to become like a 10 out of 10, but it's going to take 5 years. And I just don't know how fair that is to the player, because we basically pay for them. Games are weird. I was thinking about this a few days ago. When games come out, they're like $100 now. Wait, especially if you get the season pass, over $100. All right, and get a modern AAA game at its worst state at launch. It's what the hell just happened there? It's always buggy. I'm gonna record that. It's always buggy, incomplete, and there tends to be a lot of like really obnoxious quality of life issues, etc. And then like a year, usually 2 years later, if it's well supported and sold decently well, then they'll have all kinds of DLC. They'll have like, you know, 8 to 12 really big patches, which they'll give fancy names and try to get everybody hyped for. And then the game will go on sale and it'll be like, here's $20 for the mega super duper everything you could ever want edition that has all the quality of life stuff fixed, most of the bugs fixed, the balance is really good now, the economy's great. It's like No Man's Sky. You have virtually unlimited gameplay options. $20. They charge the player the most expensive amount of money for the lesser of the two products. And then what's backwards about it, oh my Christ.
I got a field radio.
And we're like right on top of a safe house too though. What's really backwards though is like that's when the devs and the publishers should probably make the most money. Is now that the game is No Man's Sky or the game's Fallout 4, the game, you know, any game that's like, again, well supported, got its DLCs, and they drove it in a good direction. Those games are always super impressive. And State of Decay today. And yet that's when it becomes dirt cheap, especially on a sale. And that's Generation Zero. Like this game really was, it was basically a template. It was teenagers running around, reading off like straight up 1990s video games, reading off text documents, trying to piece together this world. And even though they've obviously worked on it, they never completely explain things. And so at the end of the day, it's still basically a template world. It's a sandbox for you to go and kill robots in. And it's got some clunk to it. And you're never going to know why you're killing the robots, and you're never going to really understand why you're going from point A to point B, but it's a big sandbox for you to kill robots in. And since it is a big sandbox, I wish that there was more arcadey. What's that game you really like, Tucker, where like you go to an island and you can like just kind of do whatever you want? It has really extreme stuff like paragliding, airplanes, really fast muscle cars. It has a huge list of weapons, and it's like, here you go, have at it. They've made like 4 of them now, I think.
Saints Row?
No, it's like really over the top, but not hokey. You bought it from GameStop. You bought a copy from GameStop.
I have no idea.
Try to think about it. Try. It's a big island. You're like a special agent. You get dropped in. You can drive any car. You can drive any airplane, and you basically, your job is to like undermine the military.
Oh, Just Cause.
Yeah, Just Cause. Thank you. Since this game effectively was a sandbox, and I think it was a sandbox and it remains a sandbox, because despite the DLCs going in the right direction, they are obviously, the devs understood that where they needed to improve was the storytelling, and they needed to give you more reason to move the action forward, more justification and want to kill these robots and to partake in this world. And if they want to go that direction, cool, I'm all for it. Then they need to really like lean into the survival horror elements and make these robots scary. Go back to like the early base game when it's more of a survival game. But if it's gonna, this game could go either direction, but I don't know if it can do both. Or it just needs to embrace the idea of, hey, here's some really cool sounding looking robots, and you get to go blow them up. And if they're going to do that, then I think they should do more of a Just Cause thing. They should embrace the open world map, and they need to give you like way crazier stuff to use. Tanks, jets, MiGs, rocket launchers, grav guns, mines, you know, just the sky's the limit, because you're already in this alternate history world where our technology is way more advanced in the 1980s. Nukes, go full Fallout style. I don't know if you can accomplish both. It'd be cool if you could. You might lose the horror element to be able to have that many options, but Resident Evil pulls it off. But Resident Evil always pulls it off when you've already beat the game. And I think this game going forward for the sequel, if they do a sequel, it just has to pick a direction. We still have to go kill all these bosses. Let's Osterwerk safe house. Let's get it. Let's try to kill these Let's fast travel to Bruskilla and screw the safe house. Just go kill the bosses because we're running out of time. So it's a 2 out of 3 for me. Alpine Unrest is like, oh, there's a new map, but it is so generic, and I want to like say, yeah, it's great because you get this whole like new area, but it doesn't add anything to the game. So it's just more.
I'm heading south to kill bosses.
Okay, that's where I wanted to head to. It's just more, and that's not always necessarily a good thing. Like, because Starfield, we talked about it a lot today. That's the same thing with Starfield. There's a lot. It definitely has more content than probably any other Bethesda game ever, even Daggerfall. But it's really quantity instead of quality in that case. And they were even aware of that with like the Fallout games, that maybe they needed to go more quality over quantity. That's what Alpine Unrest is. But they still added the named NPCs and tried to put some story in there, but it's kind of, we talked about how hokey it is, like they're going to be in a hotel with all these windows and stuff. And there's like zombies. They treat the robots like they're zombies now, but we know they're not. I thought that Alpine Unrest, you'd get to learn about the military because of the pilot, and you don't. That's the one mystery they just choose not to even discuss.
Who the pilot really was.
Yeah, well, and who the military was. Like, she's obviously a pilot, but why doesn't she tell you what happened to the military? Like, they kind of hint to the idea that maybe they all just died, but... Okay, and then you have Phoenix Uprising. Phoenix Uprising's alright just because there definitely is more tangible story there. You have them, like, the whole big minefield area where they're being mortar bombed to start it. You got the mole people are starting a city. They add the base building mechanics, which that's a whole nother story that we haven't been able to engage with hardly at all. And so that's actually a whole nother complaint. It's like, there's actually a lot of really cool little systems in this game, but good luck figuring them out because there's nothing showing you that they exist and how to really navigate them. Okay, Phoenix Uprising was definitely their best DLC, and a sign that, again, they knew that storytelling was the weakness and that they needed to, if they're going to do a Bethesda style game, Bethesda already screwed up with Fallout 76. They proved that you can't do one of these big kind of janky open world games and not at least have some RPG stuff. The skills and the RPG mechanics, they did a good job at having the multiplayer element and the drop in, drop out, and there's kind of a looter here, but the looter's pretty shallow and the skill trees are pretty shallow at the end of the day. They're motivational, but it takes a long time to level up, and you can't really do like a build per se. They do force you into one capstone, but most of those capstones are awful. I don't even use the medic one. So really you just want DPS. So it's basically like really shallow, really generic. And if they're going to do, they kind of just need to pick a path. Like if they can combine Just Cause with robots and Borderlands, that's totally going to be an amazing game. If they want to combine Resident Evil with scary ass robots, yeah, and have a little bit of a looter shooter in there, sure. But that's what it feels like. It's like it's a bunch of different ideas piled onto this sandbox. And even though all of them approximate, like they're a good demo, they're a good proof of concept for all these different ideas, like it's a looter shooter, kinda, and it's a RPG, sorta. It's an open world game, mostly, but it never becomes like really excellent at any of those things that it plays with. And it could be. You know, and then it, instead of like, the one thing they improved was the storytelling. Tucker and I agreed on that. Then they decided to do what this game is, and they're like, let's just keep adding different activities into the sandbox. Now you can base build, but it's like not a very good base builder, and it's hard to engage with the base building. So the story kind of repeats itself, where it's like, yeah, it does all these different things. You can do so many different things in there, but none of them it really does amazingly well. And at the end of the day, you know, it's a year that Tucker and I played this, a year of you guys watching it with us, which we really appreciate. A lot of this game boiled down, Tucker, to like us kind of going to the place and shooting the robot. Now, a lot of games do that, but there's still ways to dress it differently to make it more interesting. And to be honest, a lot of the time the fights, they're not scripted, right? Like right now, this is us just choosing to engage these world bosses.
Yeah.
There was only one scripted fight in the whole game, and that's in Phoenix Uprising with that last boss. So, wow, you have so many hunters on you. That is...
Yeah, that harvester keeps spawning them.
That is crazy.
Away!
Gonna have to use some flares. So, you know, what this game does do really well, though, is the robots look great, the sound design is terrific, and the lighting's super good, and there's just some really neat moments because of the graphics and the sound and the robots. And most games that do all the other stuff really well don't have that part figured out. So that already puts them one step ahead when they go to make whatever they're going to do next. So it was a 1 out of 3, and I definitely think they brought it to a 2 out of 3. I think that my biggest thing, and I'm finishing on this thought, is just how weak the story is. I know a lot of people are like not into story. I get it. There's that whole lootology thing, and it's just like, all that really matters is the gameplay. But the gameplay's not exactly spectacular either. It's good. It's good enough. It's definitely serviceable. So you're gonna need something else to drive the game, like Fallout 3. I mean, it feels really dated in the combat and the action, but because the world's really good and the storytelling's really good, and the quests are excellent, and the way the world changes, all that stuff drives that game and salvages that aspect of it. It makes it, you deal with it because all the other stuff's so good. It's like having an amazing dinner, but there's like one really bad side. You can ignore the side. This game is like, here's 1,000 sides. There's no main dish. And a lot of the time, graphics and sound, even though in this game they really are special, is still considered more of a side dish. That's more of like the dressing on the plate, how you choose to make your game look and sound. Important, granted, but it can't be the game.
Unless you're like somehow making an art game.
Right, yeah, unless you're making an art game. Even games that are like artistic, like Limbo and that side-scrolling game about being able to warp time. Those games still have a really solid heart of the gameplay. They're really good platformers, or they're really good puzzle games. This game is a first-person shooter, action RPG, open world, stealth game. Like, it's just so many different damn things. And sometimes that works, being a jack of all trades and a master of none. It works for GTA. But GTA's is very unique in the sense that its main course is the fact that it's a jack of all trades. You can do just anything in GTA. That's what makes it.
People know that.
Right. That's why people engage with it. So that's why I'm saying it either has to embrace the more horror aspects of the game, or it needs to embrace being a more of a just a total GTA, just cause. Here's a crazy ass sandbox with some ridiculous robots. And Tucker, since I said I was going to wrap up there, what do you think it should do? Should it embrace the horror elements, or should it embrace being the giant open world sandbox game?
I feel like no matter which way it goes, it can improve in both, because the robots can be really scary if they give them the right atmosphere. Maybe make them seem a lot more intelligent and give them better behavior.
Yeah,
or they could go the other way and make the robots act super zany and fast, and just make everything super fast paced and give people some big explosions to make people get really hyped up and excited when they play the game.
Right.
It can go both ways. Like, I think they can do good doing either of those.
You can do both, but you still have to choose, because if you're going to go with the horror thing, you can only do the explosions occasionally. What happens with horror games that ruins them a lot of the time is that the enemies are no longer scary. And the moment that the robots are a cakewalk and it's just blow them all up, it quits being scary. But had they combined that kind of like a lot of games don't do gore anymore, and it pisses me off. And they could have totally done like you and Quinn were talking about. The soldiers should have been turned into the robots. I don't know how they were able to start building these nuclear capable robots when they were, they were wiped out in the opening game, and yet you find out not only were they not wiped out, but they've been improving.
Makes sense.
Ladies and germs and gentlemen, all 8 million of you around the world and around the globe. This has been Generation Zero. It took us, let's see how many episodes. 73 episodes to do this. Tucker is going to dance as we play out, and Tucker, give us the last word.
We need to
of this
dance
Let's
to
Play.
finish, Turok.
How do I equip a dance?
Go into your inventory and go to profile or emotes.
Emotes, sweet. Okay. And I need a dance. Freestyle. How about that? Yeah. Let's freestyle up. Oops. Oh, baby. Let's get it.
Okay, so this game definitely was quite a journey. It's very unique. It's definitely a lot better than the last time we tried it. To be honest, I didn't know if there was a true ending to this game yet.
Technically, there is and there isn't. You get to keep playing. You mysteriously wake up in the bunker. Did it save us so we could keep killing its robots? I don't get it. Something had to save us.
Didn't explain why it saved us.
It just says mysteriously.
The only thing he said is that he wants to keep us. You remember, like when he
He says he created us technically because of how we're acting now in response to him. See, that could have been it. Like this game, that would have been the storytelling from the beginning. This game would have flown by. It wouldn't have been any trouble to like get in there and do it. All right, continue. Sorry.
It definitely does a lot of things, and I feel like it does okay at most of those things.
That's the issue, right? It does a lot of things, but it doesn't do any of those things great. It does them good enough.
Yeah.
It's adequate.
Right.
But there's 100 other games that do that better. There's Baldur's Gates, and there's The Witcher and Cyberpunk and the Bethesda games for the RPG stuff. There's Borderlands and Diablo and Destiny for the looter shooter stuff. It's like how Anthem, or there was another game that came out recently that was like Redfall, where it's like, yeah, we're a looter shooter, but it was so basic. And I usually don't like this guy, but Skill Up GG, he was like, it's like a parody of a looter shooter. And that's a pretty good description, and that's a problem. Is there's so much competition now. Like some of these games that have been around a long time have become so elite at making their specific niche. But I will tell you this thing, the robots, and like I'm hearing a robot right now stalking us in the distance, and that horn, and hearing it like scuttle through the woods with my headphones on. I don't think there's another game out there that does that.
There's not very many games that makes robots scary.
No, or like has that level of like sound design. There's these robots in front of us that are like, incinerated, and you hear them popping and boiling with the electronic fire in front of us, and there's a robot in the distance hunting us, and there's lights in the foreground. Dying Light in this game have two of the best sound designs, and that's something they can build on.
Right.
Continue.
Overall, this game definitely is something I will try to remember, because it definitely has a lot of cool concepts, like its design of the robots. Most of them look pretty menacing. I mean, the drones don't look menacing at all, but they're just scouts, so they don't need to be menacing. They're all menacing for a different reason. The hunters actually seem smart, and they'll chase you around. The dogs are fast, so you have trouble shooting them. The harvesters are big and imposing, and the tanks are just like super menacing because they're taller than most houses.
Right.
And that's not even mentioning the Russian robots. I feel like overall the Swedish robots have better designs, but they both do really good on that front. Overall, I really liked this game. I already said overall, but it doesn't matter.
So you like the game. You're glad we did it.
Yeah, I'm glad we did it. It definitely felt really long to play, because it's almost been a year.
Right. And 73 episodes, and how many hours? Let's see. We put 100 hours into this game almost.
And yet it still took longer to beat. Somehow it took longer for us to beat this than How to Survive 2. How to Survive 2 has like 90 episodes.
Yeah, I bet we have more hours in How to Survive 2, though, if we looked.
Yeah.
Quinn, did you
So
want
we did
to?
a lot of marathon ones.
Quinn, did you want to say anything to the people as we sign off on this one? Come say goodbyes. We'll see you guys on the next one, Stubbs and Zombies. We got some cool projects planned.
Bye bye.
Bye-byes, guys. All right, Tucker.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.